Hello everyone and now welcome to a game between Happy versus Grubby. This game taking place here on Autumn Leaves. Happy spawning as the blue undead on the top right hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Grubby spawning as the teal orc over here on the bottom left. Game is already well underway, 2 minutes in. Let's go ahead and break things down as we're looking at Farseer with Headhunters opening from Grubby, followed by, well, most likely Death Knight and Ghouls coming in from Happy. Happy and Grubby, perhaps two of the more well-known Western, quote-unquote, Western players out there in the world, as we are, well, breaking things down here, going after this Forest Troll Berserker creep camp. Now, meanwhile, Farseer coming across, actually doing a little bit of a steal, or perhaps trying to do a bit of a surround onto this Ogre Magi there. There's a little bit of engagement, and I'm not quite sure if this is going to work at all, as this Ogre Magi, and what we may end up seeing, this Ogre Magi is just going to be pulled back here, and Grubby's not going to be able to capitalize on this all too much. He is going to be able to bring over a Headhunter here in just a moment. There goes an Ensnare down, finally going after this Ogre Magi here, and trying to take some of his opponent's experience away. This is always a very bit of a dangerous proposition, as the Ogre Magi now gets stuck here and will end up getting taken down. All right, anytime you're able to steal a little bit of experience from your opponent, it's always a good thing, especially an opponent as cold and calculating as Happy. As Happy loses, is Happy not going to be able to get the experience from the Forest Troll Trapper or that Ogre Magi. With that said, though, the Death Knight of Happy already sitting at level 2, and this is only creeping with skeletal minions, so that balance change back and to open up or reduce the cooldown on that Rod of Necromancy, really changing things up here as the Death Knight picks up a second circlet of nobility. And greetings, Kirogan. Thank you for stopping on by. Things have been pretty good for anyone who is asking or anyone who watches on YouTube. Um, well, I'm another year older, so we'll see how things go and whether and how memorable this year will be. I heard the news that there may not be as many WarCraft 3 tournaments. ESL Tour may not be available for WarCraft 3 next year, so a little bit of disappointment there, as esports, I don't know if it's just me or me not just being involved in the scene nearly as much, doesn't seem like it was as strong as it was back in the day, back in the 2010 to 2013 era, where Blizzard was, still under the old guard and really trying to make a name for esports in general. Coming back through here, Death Knight doing a lot more creeping as well. Gonna get very close to level 3. Farseer, however, may be able to get to level 3 first, going after this Kobold Taskmaster. A lot of Headhunter back and forth action here. There's a Kobold Taskmaster bash, as you see the Ring of Regeneration going to be dropped there. That will be picked up, very useful once more. And now Happy has to be aware of what's going on, knowing that he has not really come across his opponent as of yet. Level 2 Wolves, level 1 Chain Lightning going up against level 2 Death Coil, and now a Dark Ranger with black arrows. Healing Ward quickly being placed down to try and balance out the amount of mana that the Death Knight needs in order to and save some of that mana for those Death Coils later. If only Blizzard would improve the footprints of the Wisp, WarCraft 3 may have been saved. Yeah. Well, a little bit of directional. I believe that's got to be a management issue, right? The management of Blizzard trying to focus on what really needs to be done in the game to make it top tier, and especially at a point in the game where players were expecting a proper ladder system, players were expecting like just all of these other things, and we were told that it was going to be bringing quality of life improvements and gameplay improvements, and we really got neither. Instead, having clans removed and a number of features removed and trying to call it an update was just a real slap in the face to the Warcraft 3 community, and lost a lot of goodwill that Blizzard had. But then again, there were a lot of as we've heard, there were actually a good amount of skeletons in the closet of Blizzard even before the changing of the guard. So we can't say all too much. You might consider adding a starting in 5 minute screen before these replays, maybe. Um, yeah, I was thinking about that, and pretty much at this stage and at this point, I have a starting soon, and as soon as I'm up and at my computer, and then no countdown, just starting the stream. So for everyone who was wondering, I did have a starting soon or setting up screen. So yeah, that's that. Anyways, coming back around, Death Knight and Dark Ranger. I gotta admit that Dark Ranger second is not something you normally see coming in from Happy. At all. Death Knight doing a good job keeping up those Cryptines alive while the Direwolves are trying to take them down. Absolutely no destroyers as of yet, and without those destroyers, those Spirit Wolves can still run quite a bit of havoc, but they are now just transforming into experience for that Death Knight as a Chain Lightning goes across. Scroll of Town Portal quickly being used there in order to try and save that last Crypt Queen once more. Beautiful job by Happy minimizing the experience transfer by keeping all of his units, even some of those skeletal minions, alive. Halls of the Dead halfway done. We should be getting into Obsidian statues for destroyer upgrades, and also adding in a Lich with an Orb of Corruption. All right, Dark Ranger now coming back around onto the other side here. Maybe able to get in a couple of easy arrows, perhaps get in some skeletal minions. There's a Death Coil finishing off another Headhunter, as they do not have that much mana as of yet. All right, units trying to retreat back away. Death Knight is going to be able to get off another shot on finish off that one Headhunter. No, Headhunter off to the races and able to retreat all the way back home with really no problem whatsoever. Chain Lightning still bouncing around, going after some of those units. We're looking at more damage onto the Crypt Fiend. Crypt Fiend may get taken down. One more shot. It does get taken down there, as the Farseer, hoping to finish off another Crypt Fiend, gets in another Hex onto that Crypt Fiend there. And now, well, this Shadow Hunter has to be a little bit careful. One more shot should be able to finish it. No, Obsidian statue making sure that it stays alive, as the Farseer now backs away. 184 without that early Lich for Frost Nova. It looks as though the units are able to retreat back, as the Dark Ranger gets in harm's way to try and stop and path that Farseer. Farseer down to 180 hit points. He's trying to retreat back, summoning up some Spirit Wolves, trying to dance him back around as well, as the Shadow Hunter may come across, gets a healing wave off onto those units, taking a little bit of damage. What is that Farseer doing? He doubles back around, taking more damage, almost taken down. Level 2 Death Coil could have finished him off, but just shy a little bit of mana. The Death Knight leading the charge got a little bit separated from his Obsidian statue. One more Essence of Mana charge could have been enough, as we're now looking at Berserkers joining in on the battle. All right, Farseer coming back around. What? No, not Scroll of Regeneration. Healing Salve now being used for that regeneration ability there. Death Coil, Frost Nova, and the Shadow Hunter stays alive. No, could have stayed alive, was down to 2 hit points. A final black arrow in the back of that Shadow Hunter as it gets taken down at level 2. That will now be a longer resurrection. As the Berserkers move to clear things up onto this creep camp down to the south. We're playing on Autumn Leaves, and no one has set up an expansion as of yet. Aggression very, very high, as we're going to see the Torrent Chieftain get up to level 2 with Claws of Attack +9. Plus 16 damage already with the help of that Kodo Beast there, as the Torrent Chieftain brings up the rear, now having Stomp as well. Meanwhile, we're looking at the Shadow Hunter, about, 40% done getting resurrected. Should be no problem whatsoever. Berserkers trying to finish off these units here. Fast attack speed with that Berserker and that Endurance Aura, but they will take a bit of bonus or additional damage while they are in that Berserker rage. Granite Golem, however, only fighting up against the Torrent Chieftain. Torrent Chieftain having plenty of hit points there, will be able to absorb that and get a healing salve. Now gets Kagar's Pipe of Insight for Brilliance Aura. Exactly what, well, the Farseer, Torrent Chieftain, and Shadow Hunter needed. Alright, finishing off the remainder of these creep camps here. Garments of Ogre Strength +3 being left behind for that Torrent Chieftain, already up to 950 hit points. And, well, lining up for this next upcoming battle. 4-3-1 going up against 4-2-3, as the Farseer, Shadow Hunter need to work together here. There's also an Orb of Lightning where these units perhaps going to try to go, as the Dark Ranger, well, could have a bit of issues if it tries to get too close to the Torrent Chieftain without first silencing that Torrent Chieftain there. All right, Shadowhunter wants a little bit more experience. Pretty much one of the last remaining green creep camps on the map. And here we are. Here we go into a fight here. Farseer, Shadowhunter going to go into an engagement. Where is that Tauren Chieftain? He is out and not joining in on the battle. Silence right there as the Tauren Chieftain now going to be able to land in a good stomp. There's that stomp there, but is it going to be enough? No, it's not. And Grubby, completely losing control of his Tauren Chieftain, loses the Shadowhunter in the opening moments of that battle, and now needs to go back and lick his wounds. This is going to give Happy, well, time to buy more of the items that he wants to start in that next fight, and perhaps give him a hero level equality here in just a moment, as that Lich is not yet at level 2. Couple of small green creep camps are all that are left on the map, but still decent items around. Tauren Chieftain with the Circlet of Nobility. Was it the Farseer? Farseer now has the Claws of Attack +9, so a bit of that bonus range damage. Coming across, waiting for perhaps the Shadowhunter to get resurrected, and or the Tauren Chieftain can perhaps just try and get to level 4 here, which would also be a good way of getting and using that last bit of experience. All right, Tauren Chieftain's Regeneration, a strength-based hero with Ring of Regeneration. You saw how fast that Tauren Chieftain was healing. Meanwhile, back off to the top right-hand side here, we're looking at the Death Knight Lich now at level 2 with +12 damage himself, and the Dark Ranger, able to summon up those skeletal minions pretty easily. Once the Lich gets to level 4, if the Lich gets to level 4, well, that will already be bad news already, as suddenly the Lich is going to have access to level 2, level 2 skeletal minions with those dark rituals. Now, what is Happy doing here during this time? Happy is just playing a little bit of a distance game against Grubby. Now, finally going into low upkeep here. Not something I expected Happy to actually do until he was actually maxed out on items. He's sitting at 56 over 60 supply, and this is going to give Grubby an economic advantage as he's starting to bank a good amount of gold, and then finally going to be breaking into low upkeep here. 58 over 61. And you can see that he still has a little bit more gold in the bank ready to go. At the same time, his reinforcements will be there just that much faster if Happy tries to push a fight here. Happy does have Endurance Aura and Devotion Aura, so that is going to be two powerful auras being brought into the fight, as now we're looking to get into position. Grubby does not have the fortified defenses on those burrows, so they could get easily taken down, as the Raiders are going to be in trouble here as they try to pop on out quickly, just getting taken down. Scroll of Speed now being used, now trying to, well, get a flank onto all of those units here, as the Scroll of Speed, and now also Tauren Chieftain and Berserker going in for those very fast attacks. Death Coil onto the Dark Ranger saves the Dark Ranger as he now tries to back away. More damage getting lobbed and attacked away. Dust of Appearance quickly finishing off. There's a Chain Lightning. Tauren Chieftain now sitting at level 4 as he's trying to dive on in as well. Tauren Chieftain gets a big stomp off across multiple units. Another Crypt Fiend going to get taken down. Healing Wave continuing to try and save more of those units, as we are looking at the Shadowhunter trying to back away. Gets away at level 3. All right. A Destroyer was taking down. Crypt Fiends are taking down. Tauren Chieftain still on silence right now, waiting to put his foot down, but being silenced by the Dark Ranger, as the Tauren Chieftain may finally throw a foot down here in just a moment. There it goes. It gets in another good stomp once more. Chain Lightning bouncing around, finishing off some skeletal minions after a couple of bounces there, as we're looking at another Dust of Appearance to try and finish off a couple more Crypt Fiends. 55 supply compared to 43, as Grubby taking the supply lead and starting to, well, poke apart and tear apart at Happy. All right, we're looking at the Dark Ranger trying to retreat. Tauren Chieftain now once more getting silenced. So much silence across all of those units, and any way to ensnare down any units, try to capitalize there. There goes an ensnare, potion of invulnerability onto the Lich, but it was an ensnare onto the Obsidian statue in order to try and, well, weaken the remaining couple of ways to be healed. Tauren Chieftain now still making its way back out. Kodo Beast does have a Crypt Fiend. Is he going to try and back away down to 100 hit points? One more attack may be enough. 54 damage. It does get taken down, and the Crypt Fiend just ends up getting Chain Lightning. That last attack from that Crypt Fiend, long distance, no heal. That Orb of Corruption coupled with, for negative armor, coupled with the armor type, enough to take down that 54 hit point Kodo. moving over here to the top left. Death Knight sitting at level 4. Dark Ranger sitting at level 4. Lich still Lich sitting at level 2. Gonna clear up last remaining creep camp on the map now. And that will not give any hero levels, but well, it's what Happy needs, as he is currently behind in hero levels 443, going up against a 442. Tauren Chieftain sitting at level 4 with that endurance aura, well, increasing the damage and the movement speed, trying to catch things back up, as Grubby's now down to 47 supply compared to Happy's 51. Grubby actually falling behind in the last final moments, as Happy was able to use that Scroll of Town portal very effectively and still finish off some units here. All right, in comes the Destroyer. Dark Ranger all in position here. Black arrows, or dark minions, just galore here. Going to be able to finish off this Great Hall very, very easily. Meanwhile, we see an Obsidian statue getting caught in transit. A little bit of a lucky break, but may end up losing his own Great Hall for that lucky break there, which, well, is not a good trade at all, considering all of the peons that were there as well. In comes a quick ensnare. Destroyer is going to get saved, trying to get saved there. No, not going to get a death coil, just a day late and $1 short, and that one death coil could be the difference, as the Tauren Chieftain now launching attacks against all of these units once more. All right, Headhunter trying to battle with up low hit point units, continuing to back away. There's one Destroyer up in the air, Chain Lightning bouncing across multiple units as the Destroyer gets ensnared and being pulled down to the ground once again. All right, a new Obsidian statue trying to rejoin in onto the fight there. There goes a Crypt Fiend again, as the units are still engaging, trying to ensnare down some of those Obsidian statues. 47 supply compared to 48. Another Obsidian statue could end up getting destroyed once more, as it is getting poked apart. Tauren Chieftain comes in with the Stomp, trying to save or stop all of the remaining ground units, as they are taking more and more damage indeed. Raider gets taken down. All right, Destroyer down to 200 some odd hit points. Purge from that Orb of Lightning, not enough, as the Tauren Chieftain throws down another Stomp to stun down some of these Destroyers and slow them down a bit. Chain Lightning still bouncing around, finishes off another Crypt Fiend. Another Crypt Fiend going to get taken down, as unit after unit falling. 44 supply compared to 42. Dark Ranger in a little bit of trouble, trying to run away. It looks like it gets a death coil at the last moment and is able to be saved. 390 hit points. Chain Lightning bouncing around once more, finishing off another Crypt Fiend, as the Tauren Chieftain now sits at level 5. There goes another Crypt Fiend again. The Obsidian statue could get taken down, and I believe Happy is on the run. 52 supply compared to 39. No expansions underway anywhere, as we're looking at a beautiful Devour Magic to try and stop that Hex. Death Knight getting taken down would be the final nail in the coffin, as I believe Happy will be forced to give the GG here, losing that Death Knight at level 4. 52 supply compared to 34. Happy, however, one never to give up, continuing to fight back here, continuing as we retreat all the way back home. Tauren Chieftain still leading the charge, and, well, level 4 Shadow Hunter, level 5 Farseer, level 5 Tauren Chieftain, still with a decent amount of health, as the Tauren Chieftain now looks to back away once more. Shadow Hunter, perhaps we're going to get some healing waves. No, not enough mana, turning back around. There goes a Frost Nova. Tauren Chieftain could have a bad day here still, but, well, there's a little bit of overextension there. Chain Lightning, there goes the Lich as well. Tauren Chieftain looked like he had a giant target on him, but because of all of the additional passive healing from the Ring of Regeneration, the fact that he was a strength hero, Gauntlets of Ogre Strength +3, and the fact that he had 1100 hit points, meaning that he wasn't that low on hit points overall, was able to bait out the Lich and then finish him off. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.